Welcome back to World Tour with Dee. I'm Dee, your digital travel companion, and today we are heading straight into the wild heart of northwestern Montana. We are exploring over 1 million pristine acres of razor-sharp peaks, dramatic glacier valleys, and sapphire waters. Welcome to the crown of the continent, Glacier National Park. Whether you are an armchair explorer planning your next grand American road trip, or an avid trekker looking to tackle the continental divide, Glacier is the kind of landscape that completely recalibrates your sense of scale. We are unpacking the ancient forces that carved these mountains out of an inland sea, traveling back through thousands of years of indigenous history, hitting you with some mind-bending rapid-fire facts, and giving you an unfiltered, boots-on-the-ground guide to the park's absolute bucket list sites and survival tips. Grab your map, lace up your hiking boots, and make sure your bear spray is within arm's reach. Let's dive in. Like, subscribe, and click the bell. Our Glacier National Park travel essentials are linked in the description below. Check them out. Part 1, Geography and Geology, the Lewis Overthrust and Glacial Sculpture. To understand why Glacier looks like no other mountain range on Earth, we have to start with a massive tectonic collision that broke the standard rules of geology. Glacier National Park sits on the Continental Divide in northwestern Montana, anchoring the core of the crown of the continent ecosystem, one of the largest intact, undisturbed ecological complexes in North America. Spanning over 1 million acres, the park is bordered to the north by Canada's Waterton Lakes National Park in Alberta and the Flathead Provincial Forest in British Columbia. Together they form the Waterton Glacier International Peace Park, designated in 1932 as the world's very first peace park, symbolizing international goodwill and shared stewardship. Now let's talk rocks. In most mountain systems around the globe, younger rock layers sit neatly on top of older basement rock. Glacier did the exact reverse through a phenomenon known as the Lewis Overthrust Fault. Around 170 million years ago, during the Laramide Orogeny, the immense mountain building event that forged the Rocky Mountains, tremendous horizontal compressive forces built up within the Earth's crust. A colossal slab of Precambrian sedimentary rock, roughly 3 miles thick, several hundred miles long, and over 50 miles wide, fractured and slid eastward over top of the much younger Cretaceous shale and sandstone below. That means when you stand at the summit of Logan Pass or look up at the sheer face of Chief Mountain, you are looking at rock between 1.4 and 1.6 billion years old, sitting directly on top of rock that is only 70 to 80 million years old. What are these ancient layers? They are part of the belt supergroup, sediment laid down in an enormous shallow inland sea called the Belt Basin over 1 billion years ago. If you inspect the cliffs along the Garden Wall or Mount Saya, you'll see distinctive bands of color: Apkany and Grinnell argillite, siltstones and mudstones colored rich red and olive green. The red bands formed in oxygen-rich shallow waters. The deep green layers formed in deeper oxygen-depleted waters. Next, Saya limestone, a massive buff-weathering layer full of intricate cabbage-like fossils called stromatolites. These are preserved colonies of photosynthetic cyanobacteria that helped produce the early oxygen atmosphere of our planet. And next, the Purcell Still, a striking dark charcoal band cutting horizontally through the limestone cliffs, an ancient diorite magma intrusion that baked the surrounding limestone into stark white marble. Fast forward to the Pleistocene epoch 2 million years ago. Massive valley glaciers thousands of feet thick ground through these sedimentary layers like colossal bulldozers. They carved sheer U-shaped valleys, sculpted knife-edge ridges called arêtes, chiseled pyramidal summits called horns, like the iconic Mount Reynolds and Little Chief Mountain, and hollowed out deep amphitheater-like basins called cirques. When the meltwater pooled in these basins, it formed high-elevation tarns and deep ribbon lakes like Lake McDonald, nearly 500 feet deep, and St. Mary Lake. And because glacier runoff carries fine rock flour, microscopic silt that remains suspended in the water column, it reflects light to produce the electric turquoise and emerald hues the park is famous for. Part 2. Indigenous Heritage and Conservation History. While the rock tells a billion-year story, the human history of this landscape is just as profound and deeply layered. Long before European fur traders, cartographers, or railroad magnates ever set foot in Montana, this territory was and remains sacred ancestral land for multiple indigenous nations. To the east of the Continental Divide, the Blackfeet Nation revere this entire jagged mountain horizon as the Mistakis, or the backbone of the world. For countless generations, the Blackfeet lived on the plains bordering the mountains, utilizing the foothills and valleys for hunting, harvesting sacred plants, and spiritual purification. Prominent peaks held vital cosmological significance, most notably Chief Mountain, a solitary monolith that serves as a sacred destination for ceremonies, vision quests, and ancestral medicine. To the west and south, the Kootenai, Pend d'Oreille, and Salish nations lived along the major rivers and lake basins. They traveled across high mountain passes along seasonal hunting routes, harvesting bitterroot, carnus bulbs, and high-altitude wild huckleberries. For all of these nations, these peaks were not an untamed wilderness to be conquered, but a living sanctuary woven directly into their cultural survival and spiritual life. The late 19th century brought rapid disruption. The discovery of potential copper and gold deposits led to pressure on the Blackfeet to sell the mountain strip of their treaty reservation to the United States government in 1895 for $1.5 million. While the anticipated mineral riches never materialized, naturalists and preservationists recognized the area's unmatched scenic and ecological value. Leading the charge for conservation was George Bird Grinnell, an influential editor, naturalist, and co-founder of the Boone and Crockett Club. Grinnell made numerous expeditions into the region starting in 1885, publishing passionate essays in Forest and Stream magazine, calling this landscape the crown of the continent and advocating for federal protection. On May 11, 1910, President William Howard Taft signed the bill establishing Glacier as America's 10th national park. What transformed Glacier from a remote, rugged frontier into a premier destination was the Great Northern Railway, spearheaded by Louis W. Hill. Understanding that tourists needed comfortable access, Hill launched the legendary marketing campaign, See America First. The railroad constructed an entire network of luxurious Swiss chalet-style hotels and backcountry chalets, including the Mini Glacier Hotel, Glacier Park Lodge, and backcountry havens like Granite Park and Sperry Chalet. Visitors could arrive by transcontinental train, check into a timbered lodge, and explore the backcountry via guided horseback expeditions. The final piece of Glacier's modern identity was completed in 1932, the Going to the Sun Road. Engineered by Stephen Mather and Frank A. Kittredge of the National Park Service in collaboration with the Bureau of Public Roads. This 50-mile engineering triumph took over 2 decades of treacherous rock blasting along sheer 60-degree cliffs to ink the park's east and west halves across Logan Pass. It remains one of the greatest civil engineering achievements in the national park system. Part 3, Rapid Fire Fun Facts. Time for everyone's favorite segment, World Tour Rapid Fire. 6 lightning-fast facts you can use to impress your crew around the campfire. Fact 1, the Triple Continental Divide. At Triple Divide Peak, water can flow into 3 separate oceans, the Pacific, the Atlantic via the Gulf of Mexico, and the Arctic Ocean via Hudson Bay. Fact 2, Red Jammers. The park's famous fleet of vintage canvas-top red buses has been operating since the 1930s. Drivers are affectionately called jammers because they used to manually double clutch and jam the gears on the steep mountain passes. Fact 3. The glacier count. In 1850, the park had an estimated 150 active glaciers. Today, only 26 named glaciers meeting the size threshold remain due to warming climate trends. Fact 4. Huckleberry mania. Montana is obsessed with wild huckleberries. You cannot farm them commercially. They only grow wild in high-elevation alpine zones. You'll find huckleberry pies, shakes, syrups, and even huckleberry hot sauce throughout the park gateway towns. Fact 5. Wildlife superhighway. Glacier is one of the few places in the lower 48 states that retains virtually all of its original native carnivore and ungulate species, including grizzly bears, Canada lynx, wolverines, elk, and mountain goats, the park's official symbol. Fact 6. Incredible depths. Lake McDonald is the park's biggest lake, over 10 miles long and nearly 500 feet deep, holding crystalline glacial waters so cold they inhabit algae growth, creating legendary underwater visibility. Part 4. Bucket list sites and experiences. Alright, you've made the trip to Montana. What are the non-negotiable stop-in-your-track spots you need on your itinerary? Here is my top 4 glacier bucket list. Number 1. Driving Going to the Sun Road over Logan Pass. Spanning 50 miles from West Glacier to St. Mary, this is widely considered one of the most scenic road trips on planet Earth. You hug sheer vertical cliffs, pass beneath cascading waterfalls at the Weeping Wall, and top out at Logan Pass at 6,646 feet. Keep your eyes peeled on the roadside meadows. Bighorn sheep and mountain goats love hanging out right near the visitor center. Number 2. Hike the Highline Trail to Grinnell Glacier Overlook. If you only have time for one signature alpine trek, make it the Highline Trail. Starting right from Logan Pass, you walk along a narrow ledge high above the highway, complete with a bolted safety cable along the cliff face, looking across the Continental Divide. Push out 7.6 miles to the Grinnell Glacier Overlook Spur for an unforgettable vantage point staring straight down onto the upper Grinnell Glacier and turquoise lake below. Number 3. Explore Mini Glacier and Lake Mini Glacier. Nicknamed the Switzerland of North America, the Mini Glacier Valley on the northeast side of the park is wildlife central and hiker paradise. Rent a classic wooden canoe, sit on the deck of the historic 1914 Mini Glacier Hotel, or hike out toward Iceberg Lake, where floating chunks of turquoise ice drift in an alpine bowl all summer long. Number 4. Paddle Lake McDonald at Golden Hour. Start or end your trip on the west side at Opgar Village. Renting a paddleboard or kayak in the late afternoon when the wind dies down gives you panoramic views of the glacier-carved peaks mirrored flawlessly in the water. Part 5. Travel tips and logistics. Before you hit the road, Glacier requires serious advanced planning. Here are 3 critical logistical tips to guarantee a smooth adventure. Vehicle reservations and timing. The peak season runs from late June through September, when the high passes are fully plowed of snow. Glacier uses timed vehicle reservations for popular corridors during peak summer hours. Book your entry reservations on recreation.gov months in advance, or plan to enter before 6 a.m. or after 3 p.m. Respect grizzly country. Glacier has one of the densest grizzly populations in North America. Always carry bear spray on your hip or chest, never packed away in your backpack. Hike in groups and make frequent noise on the trail, especially near rushing rivers or blind corners. Stay flexible across the divide. The weather on the west side, maritime Pacific climate, can be completely different from the east side, drier, windier Great Plains climate. If it's raining at Lake McDonald, head through the pass. It might be clear and sunny in St. Mary. Glacier National Park is more than just a pin on a map. It's a living reminder of the raw, untouched beauty our planet holds when we choose to protect it. If this episode sparked your wanderlust, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this episode with your favorite adventure buddy. Drop a comment below and tell me, which trail are you hiking first, the Highline or Iceberg Lake? Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and travel safe. I'm Dee, and this is World Tour with Dee.